Okay, so I've posted some problems, first prize auction, second prize auction. So, what you can do is, there were n players. Okay, so what you can do is you can just solve those problems for two players. Okay, you can assume that there are just two players. You can reduce the game, just solve them for two players first, and then see if you can figure out what happens in case of n players. Okay, so for solving for two players will not be difficult. The methodology is exactly what I just presented here. Okay, you just have to write the payoff functions properly, and then you'll be able to solve them. Okay, so I've posted lots of questions. You can try them. Okay, well, we can stop here for today. We'll do a couple of more applications in the next class. Okay, on micro, and yeah, I mean, you can also go through. I've also posted a lot of solved problems. Okay, on Piazza, so you can also go through the solutions. There are different types of techniques that I have used to solve the problems. If you just click on the solutions, uh, and that will also help you get more insight about what are the different ways in which we can solve them. Okay, and I would recommend that try more than one way to solve a single problem. That will make you better at understanding which technique will work faster uh, with what kind of problems. Okay, so sometimes in some problem it's better to apply some technique, and some problems it's better to apply some other optimization technique, and you have seen several of them. Okay, so I would recommend that just try with as many techniques as possible the same problem. That will give you a very good exposure to what will work faster. And secondly, you'll also be able to check your answer. Let's say with some technique you're getting a different answer, and some other technique you're getting some other answer, then reconciling exercise will also teach you a lot. Okay, and you will be able to figure out what is a mistake. Okay, so I mean, all these are ways in which you can get better at problem solving. I just keep emphasizing this because this is important. If you want to become an independent problem solver, you have to practice problem solving, and you have to do that on your own. Okay, rather than seeking help all the time. Okay, and that is why I have been trying to give you more and more methods through which you can solve these problems. Okay, and graphical method is absolutely neat, and you can actually use graphical method to solve most of the problems that they've asked in the entrances. Okay, but of course, it is also suggested that try to read into the function. Okay, try to see what the function is trying to do. If you are able to read it, then most of the times you don't even have to solve the problem to actually find the solution. You can just look at the problem and you'll be able to get the solution. Okay, like for example, most of these cases, like for example here, because I was able to read through it, for the first three problems, for the first three cases, I didn't have to plot anything. I could just read the problem and do it. Okay, but for the fourth one, just to explain you the case, I have to plot it. Okay, is that fine? Otherwise this was also not needed. If you know how to read through it, you can actually write this best response function without even plotting a single graph. Okay, and as this one also something that you can do, as this is an exercise that we did just to find the Nash equilibrium. But as I've just told you, if you know how to read this, what this is trying to say, then you can find the Nash equilibrium without even plotting this. Okay, so I mean, and this is something that nobody can teach you. This is something that will come only with, if you just read this with an open mind, if you try and make sense out of this. If you think that this is some bunch of uh, intervals, and you have no sense of what what is this doing, then then obviously you'll have to do one more step to actually find the equilibrium. Okay, but even doing this step require you to have an understanding of what these intervals do. Most people have difficulty to plot these things. Okay, that okay, p2 is greater than 7, so where do I plot 7? Okay, so I mean, if you end up plotting 7 here, or somewhere here, that's wrong. You have to plot it exactly here, because P1 is 7. So obviously you need to have a good understanding of sets and functions. You need to have a good understanding of how to plot graphs, okay, how to read the information that is given in the problem to even solve the problem. Is that clear to everyone? And that's why I emphasized so much on sets, functions, and plotting the graph. So all that is so important. Because that gives you the basic sense of how to read the math. Okay, so and I keep on doing that because I know that you need more and more practice on that. Okay, and yeah, I mean, just take it as an opportunity to learn. I mean, I've been posting so many questions. Just look at the solutions. I mean, I've posted so many solutions as well. See what is done in the solutions. Trust me, you'll learn a lot just by reading the solutions as well. Okay, and then just try to apply them to the other problems which are unsolved. Okay, and are posted on the forum. Okay, and also make sure that all of you start participating in the tests, the Saturday tests. Okay, it is very important, because in the actual exam you will not get a lot of time to solve a problem. You will be, in fact, we are giving you to solve 15 questions in 1.5 hours. Okay, in DSE you'll have to solve 50 questions in 3 hours, I think. Okay, which is basically, you'll have to be faster. Okay, and secondly, you have access to everything when you're solving the exam that we are giving you. Okay, but in DSE or ISI, you'll not have access to your textbook or your forum or your definitions. You just have to, you'll be on your own. Okay, so please try to uh, make most of this opportunity, and try to attempt each and every exam. Okay, don't worry if you don't do well. It will be a lesson for you, that okay, where which all problems you got stuck into, and then what kind of improvements you need in your preparation. So it's something which is going to tell you like where you need to work on. Okay, so I strongly recommend that you start taking those tests. Okay, is that fine? Okay, so let's stop here for today, and I'll see you on Saturday. Okay, so on Saturday we'll be doing maths.